Montgomery's plan to slay Drathenia and bring the Sisters of Battle under his command in dealing with the Tyrians has failed. Now, the defenders of Australise sit prepared to enter a civil war, while the Xenos threat continues to ravage their planet. Montgomery will not give up, however. He will make Drathenia submit to him at gunpoint, even if he must march on the fortress of faith and ignorance, batter down its doors, and drag her out. To this end, he prepares a mighty force to march upon the cathedral, but Drathenia will not give way to any heretics or fools.
Hello and welcome to Australise. Welcome back everyone to a new battle report for a new day, day 15. As you heard in the story time, we're starting to move into a little bit of a civil war with Sisters and Imperial Guard. So this today battle report is 3,000 points, both sides. And big armies, yes. Gonna be a big battle today. We are using modified Gathering Storm rules from Gathering Storm 2. Again, to see what we've done, consult the blog. Forgiveness if it's a little messy. It's constantly under maintenance and construction. It's kind of last on my list of things to do when it comes to these things. So, beginning with our armies, 3,000 points, we have Acadian Battle Group. So, our first command choice is this company command here, with Montgomery. So, he's finally appearing. So, this company command squad's got Plasma Pistol, Power Sword, Medic, Vox, and then 2 Plasmas. And they're inside of a Chimera, which I'm assuming has Dozer Blades and Relic Plating?
Yeah.
Alright.
Everything's WYSIWYG.
Well, I can't see Relic Plating. Alright. So, after that we move on. So, what's the first core choice here? It's this Emperor's Shield Infantry Platoon?
The core choice is the Emperor's Fist Tank Company.
Okay, so it says Emperor's Fist Tank Company with Tank Commander with Vanquisher, with an offshoot tank with Vanquisher. Command tank has a Hunter Killer by the looks, and multi-melters, Last Cannon. His off-sided buddy just has the Last Cannon. If you've seen some of our other battle reports, you know this is a configuration we tend to run with tank commanders. Don't know why, I've never seen it work successfully. Then we have 3 tanks. They're all part of a squadron. Or are they separate individuals? They're all separate squadrons. Okay, so we have an Eradicator Nova with 2 Plasmas, Stubber, and Heavy Bolter. And then we have the Plasma one, forget its name. It's got 3 Heavy Bolters and the Execution of Plasma Cannon. I don't play Guard, I forget their names. And then we have Standard Battle Tank with Heavy Bolter. Now, what upgrades do they have? Like, how many of them have Dozer Blades?
Just the 2 that actually have that.
Alright. And do any of them have Relic Plating? Okay, so none of them have Relic Platings. They're vulnerable to your non-existent psychic powers. Tech Priest. And then, of course, the Tech Priest that you have to take with it.
Yeah.
Alright. So, then you have
3 auxiliary choices.
3 auxiliary choices, okay. So the first auxiliary choice, let's go here.
Is an infantry platoon.
Alright.
Emperor's Shield Infantry Platoon.
Emperor's Shield Infantry Platoon. So, by the looks, you've got your 3 squads here with flamers in each, sergeants and boxers.
2 squads with flamers, 2 squads with heavy bolters.
Yep.
Command squad with snipers. And then 4 heavy weapon squads, 1 with las cannons, 2 with autocannons, and 1 with mortars.
Okay, so good amount of infantry, and then of course the usual
The Sentinel.
sentinel. Yes.
Heavy plasma that you have to take in that formation.
Not that sentinel's only let us down once, so.
The second auxiliary choice is a artillery company.
All right, so you've got your company command squad here.
Company command squad with melters,
Melters and a
medic,
Torx, and a medic, and a Vox.
Vox, Torox,
And then exactly what you see here, a Manticore, a Hydra, and a Basilisk. Now these are three things I've yet to use as Imperial Guard. But then we have one final auxiliary choice. And this was a compulsory choice that I made when I wrote the scenario, that I made you take. One Baneblade.
The Baneblade, Victoria's Wrath.
Yes.
Taken as a option. A super heavy option.
Yes. So the question is,
do you have enough tanks?
No. Does this have any other upgrades on it?
No, it's all.
It's just.
It's got the stubber.
It's got the stubber. It's got its sponsoons. It's okay. It's too heavy. Okay. So that's 3,000 points of Imperial Guard for today's army. So let's see what they're up against for this massive match. Alright, so on 3,000 points of technically, what is this? Sisters or
Imperial
agents?
agents.
Imperial agents codex, okay.
This is 3,000 points of Imperial agents, basically.
Alright.
So it
So
consists.
walk us through it.
So it consists of one Vestal task force. So we got a Canoness Drathenia in the HQ slot.
Yep.
She has
The Combi Melter.
Eviscerator, and Ophelia Mantle.
Yep. Mantle of Ophelia, right?
Yep.
She's
She's got a command squad which has 3 melters, power, weapon, and hospitaller and a rhino.
alright.
Okay, then we've got 3 troop choices, 2 mechanized squads, usual configuration of heavy flamer, combi plasma.
Yep, your favorite. And then 2 immolators.
In their immolators with
multi-melters.
blades and multi-melters.
Yep.
And then the third troops is just a regular infantry squad, 10 girls with heavy bolter, flamer, combi plasma.
Yep.
In the elites choice, we also have Repentia squad here.
Yep.
A Repentia, the mistress, in a rhino. Then for fast, we have Dominion squad, all melters in
Oh, the repressor.
a repressor. And then a 5-girl Seraphim squad, 2 hand flamers and a superior with power weapon and plasma pistol. And then in the heavy support for the Vessel Task Force, we've got a squadron of 3 penitent engines
Very scary.
and 2 exorcists. Each exorcist has a storm bolter.
I don't know what scares me more in this case.
And that's
The exorcists or the penitent engines.
That's it for the Vestal Task Force. Next we have an Oath-Sworn detachment with an Imperial Knight Crusader.
Yep.
It's got the giant melter thing.
It's got the melter cannon, the 3-shot AP3 missiles.
Yep, the
And-
heavy missiles and the Gatling, the
And
Avenger
stubber.
Gatling gun and the stubber. Then we've got a Deathwatch kill team. So Deathwatch kill team. We've got a heavy hammer guy and 4 frag cannon guys, and they're inside of a Corvus with the Halo launchers.
That's the improved Jink, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And las cannons
Alright.
and the big missiles for that. Then we've got a Sarkana division with a Primary Psyker, level 2. Then we've got an Assassinorum assassin, consisting of the Subverter assassin. And then finally we've got a priest delegation with a priest with litanies and
Alright. So,
So,
you might be outnumbered, but you brought a very powerful list by the looks. It looks amazing,
this has a lot of...
and it looks like it's going to strike very hard.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of big units.
Outnumbered, but if I get close, that's where all my power is. So.
And you've also got a lot of power armor, so getting close you probably will live long enough to do.
Maybe you do have a lot of AP3 or better. It's in blast plate form.
Yes. Well, we'll see as we get into the scenario how this actually plays out.
Yep, well, we got to set up our terrain and stuff, so we'll be back with you then. So here we have the setup and deployment for this game.
Yep, it's looking pretty epic. The Imperial Guard have deployed down this side, as you can see, and the Sisters of Battle have deployed on this table edge, adopting the hammer and anvil. So, the main objective of this game being this over here. This piece of terrain representing the breaking of the Ward's Obsidian Gate, so we sort of modified it from the Gathering Storm rules. So it uses all those rules, AV13, 6 hull points, 4 pinball, victory points for destroying it and getting guys through it. Generally leave off the board through it. Here we're treating it as a battlement that can fire its 2 heavy bolters and a storm bolter. As you can see across the deployment, we've got the Sisters having deployed a lot of their stuff on the flanks, while keeping a lot of stuff in outflanking and reserves, like the Death Watch, the Dominions. And the Imperial Guard have sort of committed everything, forming giant blobs to take advantage of their command bubbles that they've got going, and leaving themselves slightly exposed to some outflanking, but not really caring. But at the same time, the Sisters, because they deployed second, sort of counter-deployed so that they weren't in the firing lines. So, we're looking at that. Sisters will have the first turn because of the Gathering Storm mission. There's no Empiric Storm, just FYI. Again, we'll cover all the changes on the blog for our modified version. So other than that, it's pretty straightforward. The Sisters are going to score 1 victory point for each one of these kills, so this is going to get very close very quickly, so we'll see how well both armies go. You ready?
Yep, ready when you are.
Alright, let's hop to it. Alright, so in the movement phase, this sort of repositioned. Well, over here, as expected, the Knight moved forward, and same with the Rhino that's carrying the Repentiers. There was some slight repositioning of this Rhino. Over here, there was some range checking on those Exorcists, but they didn't move. Seraphim...
Oh, they moved.
They did?
Yeah, they advanced.
Okay, they advanced. The Seraphim moved behind them, and the Penitent forward. So mostly, you pretty much moved everything to try and get into firing.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go into Sisters of Battle shooting phase and tell you what the results are.
So in the Imperial Agent shooting phase, the 2 Exorcists combined their fire to take out the Basilisk there.
Yep, go on. Proof. Okay.
These guys ran forward. Whilst on the other side...
Now the Basilisk exploded and killed one guy.
The Basilisk exploded and killed multiple guys from there. Thanks to the lookout soon. This drove forward into cover there to keep the Repentier safe. And then the only other thing that could fire was the Imperial Knight. So his melter cannon did a wound on that, and thanks to a lucky scatter and roll, exploded General Montgomery's tank and killed one of his plasma dudes. Did you remember what the film that came from that plasma?
Yes.
And the missiles shot at that. The resultant explosion did a wound there. The Avenger cannon fired at the las cannons that were there and killed them all. And then the heavy stubber killed one guardsman from there. And that was it. The entirety of the shooting phase. There is no assault phase, so we now proceed to General Montgomery's turn 1. Time to tank it up.
Alright, so in the Imperial Guard movement phase, everything around here sort of moved forward and reshuffled. These made way for the Baneblade to come through. Baneblade wants to get rid of that god-awful knight that's tearing me apart. Movements of the tanks around to try and get the best shots. Oh, I forgot to move these, I'll rectify that in a moment. And these got in the transport. So in the end I just slightly rearranged these for shooting on him. And that's it. So onto the shooting phase. So after a very long shooting phase and a lot of wasted firepower, like so aggravating, at the end of all of it, this, the Baneblade, the autocannons, all of these tanks with the exception of the command tank, which took a shot at the gate and failed to hurt it, all shot at the knight and finally blew it up, getting a catastrophic explosion which did one whole point of that. Oh, the Titanic explosion, sorry. Just pretty much everything the Imperial Guard had on this side of the board that could hurt the knight shot at the knight. Like, everything. And a good percentage of that missed. These snipers here went and took pot shots at the sister squad over there. This squad all outed. Montgomery ran into the ruins there. All these guardsmen repositioned with run moves. He took a shot at that rhino, managed to take a hull point off. There was some shooting over here that was all very ineffective. These guardsmen shooting down at this assassin. Unfortunately, he saved his feel no pains. It's hard to say how the battle's flowing at this point. It's pretty grueling. A lot of my orders were really ineffective, with Tank Hunter being the most predominant one. However, I will admit the formation that gives the twin link to artillery, worth it. I just wish my Basilisk was still alive to use it as well.
Well, all are pretty even.
I mean, you definitely have killed more. You claimed 1, 2, 3 units and First Blood, which actually is First Blood and then 3 victory points because of the scenario. So you're at 4 to my 0.
You need to destroy that gate tower.
I need to destroy the gate tower and then get guys through it. So now we'll go into the assault phase for the Imperial Guard. Right, so in the assault phase, the Sentinel, being relentless, charged the Rhino, glanced it to death with its 2 attacks, and the sisters piled out because it was wrecked. They just piled out, don't they? Because it didn't explode. So that's penetrating. So yeah, so now we move on into Sisters of Battle. Turn 2, where a whole bunch of reserves that I'm going to very much hate are about to come on.
We're in the movement phase. In the Aiden's movement phase, the Dominions outflanked on here, and the Dominions got out, ready to set their melters on the hulking mass of the Baneblade. Over here, the Repentia tried to retreat a little bit. A little further back, this Immolator finally came out from hiding, and the sister squad here moved up. This squad also came on, and he's flying straight up the center, ready to dish out some rockets. The las guns were both to one of these unlucky tanks.
Space Marines.
It's all over here. The Averse Assassin has pounced and he's ready to select a target also. While the Penitent engines diverted their course to travel a bit inland, the Seraphim moving to catch up with them, and the Exorcist got into better position to have more targets, while this one stayed where it was. And that is it. There's not a lot of units on the board for the agents, so we'll see if they can try and even the odds this turn. Let's do it. Shooting phase. So in a disappointing shooting phase,
Oh,
the Penitent engines managed to wipe out that little squad there, and he killed all but one of them, which is going to assault now. Sadly over here, the Dominions did all of one whole hull point, thanks to my shitty rolling. Whilst over here, these ran back. About the only thing that did go the sisters' way was these sisters here shot at the squad that was here, and now they're fleeing this way. This thing managed to wipe out half that squad. Meh. And what else?
there was some firing from that.
He came on and wasted his missiles completely, did nothing, and the Exorcists wasted their missiles because they couldn't inflict any wounds either. So, all in all, not a lot happened. So now it's just time for assault phase and the one charge to be declared.
Yeah.
In the assault phase, my plan was flawless. The Averse Assassin assaulted in and using his Neurogauntlet, which has no AP, inflicted 4 wounds. And knowing how my brother rolls, he took none. So they are locked in combat in the next turn, which is exactly what the assassin would want.
Just as planned.
Just as planned. Well, that's the end of the Imperial agent's turn. They're ahead in points, but they're
You're still at 4 points. No, you're at 5 points now. 5-0.
And this thing has not taken a single wound yet. But the Astra Militarum, led by General Montgomery, still has all of his tanks intact, and still has a lot of infantry on the board. So, in serious trouble. Let's see what happens.
Right. So, at the beginning of the movement phase, this squad failed to get their shit together. Fortunately, they stopped just shy of that squad, or else they would have been trapped and destroyed. This moved back to try and get a firing angle up there on just the corner of the Corvus, which you can see. This moved back, not really caring about its position. Everything's sort of kind of around here. These guys have gone to ground, so they're not going anywhere. These guys advanced forward, so did these guys. That got shaken, so it can't move. The tanks rearranged themselves. The Victoria's Wrath rearranged itself. This sort of rearranged itself and put these guys in line just within close enough to put spotting distance on them. And that was all the movement. It took a surprising while. So now we'll hop into orders and shooting phase and let you know how that goes. Alright, so in the shooting phase, this snapshot over at the Corvus and missed. Well, it didn't snapshoot, it skyfire, but still missed. Oh, well, no, it hit and it failed to pen. These guys got back up and regrouped thanks to orders, and then helped eliminate the sister squad. These guys helped eliminate the sister squad as well. These guys took pot shots at the sisters down there. And the mortars aimed at the Repentier and scattered onto the sisters. Fire from this squad, and the Eradicator Nova tank thinned out the numbers of the Repentiers. This one failed to do anything. This tank shot his battle cannon at the penitent engines, failed to pen. Actually, failed to hit, I'm pretty sure.
No, he failed.
No, he failed to pen. Vanquisher. The tank command squad with 2 Vanquishers again fired at this, failed to do anything.
Saved.
Yeah, the shield. Ironically, the best shooting this turn has been by the guardsman over here. This, using the spotter rule, managed to do 2 hull points to those. And that's all. This guy tried to repair the Baneblade and failed. This guy realized he couldn't shoot anyone. He's been in a bad position all day. Then the Baneblade split its fire, shooting what could hurt at the Corvus. At the Corvus that was in range, that was not in range of the building. Shot its main gun at the building. Did a hull point. Made it rock a little. And they had some stubbers and bolt guns fire over here, which I think was the last thing that finished off the sister squad over here. And then, of course, this was shaken, so it couldn't move at all. So, yeah. In the end, still unable to score any victory points, still no closer, still about to lose a whole bunch more guys and give you a whole bunch more victory points. So, we'll go into the assault phase where you'll most likely get another victory point, bringing you up to 6. Yeah. So, we'll let you know how that turns out.
So at the end of that assault phase, the Verso one over here consolidated 6 inches to there. And then in my movement phase, the command squad came on. And they're lining up on that. The Verso moved over to there. That thing repressor repositioned itself. Over here, the Corvus went into hover mode, flew a little bit, and the Death Watch came out with their attached Psyker. The surviving Repentia and Priest emerged from their hiding place. So did the Penitents, now that the tanks are actually close enough to charge. This tank over here finally decided to come out and try and do something useful. This tank moved forward and the Sisters came out. And that's it. The Seraphim continued to advance this way, not that they're still unable to affect the game at all. And that's it for Imperial Agents. Time for Psychic Phase, the first one of the game.
Yeah.
The command squad unloaded and destroyed the Tarox that was there, and the resulting explosion killed a guy from that command squad. The Aversa fired off at Montgomery squad over here, but failed to kill anyone, thanks to some tanking by that Voxcaptor. The frag cannons of the Death Watch fired at this Leman Russ, but only managed 1 hull point in the end. This thing turbo boosted to there. Both Exorcists unloaded on this tank and managed to deal 2 hull points to it.
2 Lancers.
This one did nothing.
Yeah. It hit but failed to pen the battle cannon.
This squad over here wiped out the Guardsmen that were there. This Immolator failed to finish off that. And the big squad here took some pot shots at this squad here, but only killed a couple, I believe. Maybe even one. I think
For what?
one.
Yeah, they killed one of these guardsmen.
Yeah.
Single one.
And that was it. Aside from making these girls one, that's the end of
Shooting phase. The psychic phase was prescient.
Yes, the psychic phase we got prescience off, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Assault phase now.
Assault phase. So in the assault phase, the heavy Thunderhammer wrecked that tank, and then they consolidated. The Repentia over here exploded that tank, and consolidated over there. these penitent ninjas failed their charge into that one. And then over here, the Aversa assassin managed to kill everyone and do 1 wound on Montgomery, who refused his challenge, like the coward he is. And then I believe you wish to...
Play another turn.
No? Okay, we'll play
It's almost unsalvageable at this point, but I'm gonna try my best. I mean, I definitely can't win. But at the very least I can do is make your warlord roll to stay dead in this campaign.
Yes, she's right there. So that is, time for Astra Militarum turn.
Turn 3.
Let's do this.
So this stupid-ass sentinel finally recovered from being stupid. These guys moved. These guys moved. His tank's repositioned. These guys stayed where they are, continuing to be useless. These guys decided they would be useless elsewhere. These guys stayed... I'll move them in a second, because I forgot about them. But they're pretty much still going to be useless no matter where they go. There's literally no point in having this anymore. It just... That's there. It's got 1 missile left. I'm going to try and use that. This spun around and is ready to blow the living shit out of Drathenia. And these tanks swung around ready to blow the living shit out of this Death Watch. And the Engine C, who I need to move because it's not actually locked in combat. And that is it. My entire movement phase. So after a shooting phase full of lots of half-assed shooting, because I just did not give a damn anymore, there was some death over there, with the sisters dying, some death over there, some shooting into those with little effect. All of the Death Watch are gone. This, I actually managed to get it repaired, back to full health points.
Unfortunately, they didn't do much to repair its accuracy.
Yeah, it failed to kill
The
Drathenia.
Demolisher,
The Demolisher
missed.
and the Apocalyptic Large Blast from the Baneblade Cannon missed.
Yes, the
And the
Baneblade
Auto
Cannon.
Cannon missed.
The Baneblade Cannon sadly even got his own man.
Yes, the Baneblade Cannon even killed my own guy. And then in the Assault phase, which I've just started, I've declared these 2 charges and they've charged on in. So, we'll bring you the results of that Assault phase. Alright, so... here in the Assault phase, a challenge was issued that Aversa had to accept against the Sergeant. There were lots of hits scored against the Aversa, but no wounds. Rolling a 5 wound just seemed beyond the Imperial Guardsmen. Only a few of them got to fight anyway. All full numbers. And Montgomery managed to slip away because you didn't score any 6s for precision strikes. So, That's it. However, at this point in the game, the Imperial Guard is calling it. This has been a travesty. The show of force that they wanted to display has backfired horribly.
Yep, Montgomery's forces have been...
Montgomery's forces charged up the road, said, hey, we're going to knock down your gate and get you out here. And unfortunately, the knight bought the appropriate amount of time for everything else to get closer. And over time, the sisters just had too much AP1, AP2 weaponry. They're too good at destroying vehicles, and Guard need vehicles to win. They're not very well matched.
Yes, they...
And in the end, the poor Victoria's Wrath could not do the one thing I wanted it to do. In fact, we struggled to score a single wound on this, which makes me question how differently this would have played out if we used Gathering Storm factions. And I still think it would have turned out similar.
Yeah, because that game was Eldar versus...
Eldar demons. And only Scabrand can hurt this thing normally. So that's how it is. So there's no resolution to the conflict today. Drathenia and Montgomery are now engaged in a civil war that's about to tear Australis apart. Right in the midst of a Tyrian invasion. So, we'll see you next time. Stay tuned for our usual MVPs, MVUs, and then we'll see you next time on Day 16 of Australis. Thanks for watching. Alright, so the most useful unit for the Imperial Guard goes to the Manticore.
Manticore!
I had so much fun using this thing, and it performed so well for me out of everything. It's
Especially
in the artillery formation. I'm sure the Basilisk would have made me very happy, but the Manticore was a good second choice. I would date the Manticore. The Basilisk, however, also holds a place in my heart, a most disappointing thing. I mean, I have a love of artillery, almost like an orc, and the fact that it disappeared first turn to some straight fire disappointed me.
It wasn't straight fire.
I could not... It was hidden.
The Exorcist...
It was hidden from the Exorcist. The Exorcist scored very few hits on it, and it still couldn't save.
The Exorcist devoted all of their firepower to it.
And they got very few hits. It was hidden in cover, and it still couldn't save 2 things with a 4-up cover save. It rolled 2 3s. Just so very disappointing. Now, MVU for you, for the Imperium, was the Aversa.
Yes, this guy was unstoppable.
Could not get a beat on him the entire game.
He just did whatever he wanted.
Even if I could shoot at him, even when I did shoot at him, he just completely ignored it. Like a laughing maniac.
He even threatened me. But
He did. And then most useless was the Seraphim, who I forgot we were even in this game, to be honest.
Yeah, they just sort of flew around and didn't get the opportunity to do anything with them, so...
I mean, you at the beginning of the game, you were numerically outnumbered. You said as much, and you thought that I was going to just bury you in shots, but you're just too durable with the power armor, and our shooting just too unreliable.
Yeah. The unreliable shooting sort of...
Yeah.
Even
ironically, the most reliable shooting came from this and the Guardsman platoons with the reroll of 1s.
Yes.
Which didn't even help all that much. I was just rolling really high when it comes to lasguns. But lasguns can't hurt anything, really.
Yeah. Alright, well that's the end of that, so we'll see you next time.
Yep, so something not 3,000 points next time. Next time, stay tuned for a very special match. Tyranids versus Dark Eldar. Yeah. We're going back to them for a while, because it's been a while since we've done Tyranids. So, thank you for watching. See you next time.